Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. I'm about to react to my Premier League predictions at the start of the season. You know, the real ones, not the ones that people filmed and then refilmed a month later to say, you know what, this transfer's happened, or this injury's happened, or this manager's joined. Here's my updated Premier League predictions. I'm not bitter, but I just think it's really silly. If you're going to predict, go whole hog, own it, and see what happens at the end. I actually did this for the first time last season. I got myself 80 points. And when we talk about points, it's based on how far we are away from a team's prediction. For example, if I guess that Man City are going to win the league, and then they win the league, nil point. If I then predict, for example, Chelsea to come 10th, but they actually come 6th, that's a 4-place difference, 4 points for me. The less points, the better. Last season, I got 80 points. I had a few stinkers. I got a feeling we can beat that this time. So without further ado, let's crack on. So as you can see, this is the Premier League table. This is how it ended. Were you happy with your club's performance? Let me know in the comments below, of course. But we're going to start off at the very bottom. People comparing it to a derby, aren't they? But Sheffield United came rock bottom. They kind of gave up very quickly, didn't they? I actually predicted them to come 19th, and they came 20th. So not a bad prediction. Not a bad prediction at all, so 1 point for me. Into 19th, we've got Burnley, and to be fair, I had a bit of confidence behind them. I did say that they would survive. In fact, what did I say? I said they would come 12th. I don't know what it was. They played this brand of football that was very entertaining in the Championship. And I know that they're two completely different leagues, and what you do there doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work here, and it certainly didn't. But I respect them for sticking to their guns. May have been a little bit naive, but yeah, Vincent Kompany at the helm, got in a few new signings. But for the most part, I would say they were probably Championship quality players. So unfortunately, it didn't work out for Burnley on this occasion. And unfortunately for me, I've just grabbed myself 7 points, which is not what we want to do at this early stage of my reacting to my Premier League predictions. Hey, but we carry on. The third team that went down, of course, was Luton, and I had a little bit of faith with them, didn't I? In fact, all three teams that came up have gone back down. Luton, I had to survive just outside the relegation zone in 17th. They came 18th, which was 1 point. I like that they gave it a go, but hopefully they'll come back. But for now, that is the relegated teams. A total of 9 points gained. Burnley have done me over there. Just outside, and could have easily gone down, was Nottingham Forest. I actually had them to come 16th, which is only 1 point. I felt they had some good spells this season, some embarrassing spells this season. Could have easily gone down instead of Luton. I thought Chris Wood was very good. Didn't mean to rhyme that. Gibbs White as well. I think they've got some work to do over the transfer window. So we'll see what's going to come of them next season. But anyway, we move on to 16th place. It's Brentford. I'm really good at getting Brentford wrong, aren't I? I actually sent them down last season, and I think I was about 11 spaces out. I've done it again, haven't I? But not as bad. Not as bad. I actually had them down for 11th. My theory was they'd have a bad start to the season. Ivan Toney would come off of his ban, and then he'd help them get back up, basically. Yeah, putting them in 11th has cost me 5 spaces. I thought they did all right this season, given the fact that Ivan Toney was out for the majority of it. Part of me is waiting for the decline of Brentford. I hope not. They're a decent club, but yeah, I've just got this feeling it's all going to slowly fall apart. So I am worried for them next season, unless, of course, they do something. Do something in the transfer window. Moving into 15th, we've got Everton, a side that I actually said would go down. I didn't want them to go down, but I said they would in 18th, and they proved me wrong. They survived, and given everything that they've been through this season with the points deductions, there's a lot of distractions at that club at the moment. Obviously, the new ground is being built. Were they going to play their first season in that ground as a Championship club? It was all up in the air, wasn't it? Finished on the old school magical number of 40 points. Could have been 48, which would have put them around, 11th, 12th place. That's obviously easier reading, but would they have got all these points had they not had the points deduction? It's hard to say. If I was to pick a player of the season for him, I'd probably go with Pickford, if I'm being honest. I feel like he's matured a little bit more. So, yeah, Everton survive another season. But now we go on to what's another bad take. 14th place was Wolves, wasn't it? I had them to come rock bottom, 20th. It was a bold move, I would say, but I was going on what I was seeing at the time. I can't remember the manager at the time. I know it was a bit of a hoo-ha. Was it Lopetegui? I actually think he's coming to West Ham. Is he coming to West Ham? I think he's coming to West Ham. But yeah, I remember it not being good at all. And yeah, Wolves rock bottom. They actually came 14th, as I say. So a 6 points for me there. Gary O'Neill came in, didn't he? And was a breath of fresh air. I remember one of his early games against Tottenham. And obviously, I've got this in my head that Wolves are going to come bottom. And if they don't, they're going to get relegated either way. And yeah, they beat us 2-1. That was a good day. Really good day. But then in the reverse fixture, obviously as a season ticket holder, I'm there to watch them lose again. Wolves got 6 points off of Spurs this year. If Spurs actually acted like the club that they're supposed to be, and we did get 6 points from Wolves, we would have finished on 72 points, which would have given us that Champions League football that he was after. And in terms of the 6 points coming away from Wolves, that would have put them on 40. Yeah, they would have been fine still. Moving on to 13th place, we've got Fulham. I don't know, not really got much to say about Fulham. They were just there, wasn't they? They didn't really do much. I feel like they wasn't really in danger of going down. Never looked like doing anything higher up the table either. Did beat Spurs. That's another one to note. But yeah, Fulham 13th. I put them in 15th for this season. So that's 2 points. 2 points gained. I'll take the 1 points and 2 points. Even the 3s, but less of the 6s and 7s, please, Smithy boy. Into 12th, got Bournemouth. I actually put them 10th. I was quite happy with that prediction, considering what I knew was coming. Although it didn't start well, so I was a bit worried. Yeah, things came good. To note, Solanke flourished, chipped in with plenty of goals. I love that Justin Kluivert has got more goals than his dad in the Premier League now. Not that he was there long at Newcastle. However, his son has surpassed his goals tally in the Premier League now. Obviously got Semenyo on the wing, and who's the defender who chipped in with some goals and assists? Sorry, I'm terrible with names. I need to look him up now. Marcos Senesi. 4 goals, 5 assists. They'll do well to keep him. Yeah, I was really excited about this prediction. I thought I was going to get it absolutely spot on, but they had a pretty poor end to the season, didn't they? I think if they'd have just beaten Brentford, a team that's very beatable, they would have actually come 10th, but wasn't to be. And there's another reason why they didn't come there as well, which we'll go over in a second. But in 11th, disappointing, I'd say, this season, Brighton. I had them 2 spaces away in 9th. I feel like we was all talking about Brighton a couple of seasons ago. Maybe I've expected too much, but the players they had constantly coming through, obviously they sell them on for a big profit. And that seems to be their business model. But, of course, there is a point where you need to start hanging on to your prospects, and I don't think they've done that. Obviously, they had a lot of injuries this year. Everyone had injuries, though, didn't they? It was a very injury-prone season. But yeah, Brighton didn't really set the world alight this season. But that's fine. They've got all summer to delve into the youth system and see what else they can bring through. And hopefully we should be seeing some good stuff from them next season. Okay, into 10th place, Crystal Palace, who are absolutely shocking. Like, probably the worst team I've watched this season. Towards the back end of the season, in comes Oliver Glasner from Eintracht Frankfurt, who absolutely smashed it. Was it last season? Europa League winners, right? He comes with a bit of pedigree into the Premier League, and he's absolutely smashed it. Like, absolutely smashed it. They finished 10th. I had them down as 14th, and the reason I had them down as 14th, I say it every season, they are the most 14th place team ever in the Premier League, and I just went with that. But the back end of this season has been nothing short of amazing. I've just got to look back at the results since he came in, because before that, they were pretty bad. He won his first game 3-0 against Burnley, okay? Then comes in against Tottenham, loses 3-1, which is, it's fine by me. They draw against Luton, which now they'll probably look at that result and go, yeah, that was awful. They also draw against Forest and then lose to Bournemouth and City. And that was on the 6th of April, the City game. After that, something's clicked. Something's happened. They beat Liverpool 1-0. They beat West Ham 5-2. Newcastle 2-0. They draw against the Fulham. Then they beat Man United 4-0. They beat Wolves 3-1. And then they go and spank Champions League qualifiers Aston Villa 5-0. They may well have been on the beach. However, Manager of the Month at some point has got to happen here. Sensational turnaround. Absolutely sensational. Quite frankly, they need to hold on to Eze and Elise and build the team around them. It's that simple. Like, I'm fairly certain they were set to go this season, but when you're coming off the back of the end of the season, when you've been playing like that, I mean, do you give it another season? I'd be interested to see. But yeah, Palace fans, let me know what you think, how you're feeling. You must be buzzing. You probably didn't want the season to end. But that is the halfway point. Inside the top half now, we've got West Ham in 9th. I actually put them down in 13th. I felt like they was going to have a bit of a hangover from the Europa Conference win. And obviously the added addition of Europa League now, it's bigger, it's better, but they've done really well in that. They went to the latter stages. I look at the squad and I don't feel like it's got enough depth to handle like big competitions like that. So yeah, 13th, but they've done better than I expected in 9th. I'm sure West Ham fans would expect a little bit more. They want to be looking at the Conference League and the Europa League as their finishes at the moment and build from that. And yeah, 9th place to them, 13th I predicted them. That's 4 points added. Don't like that, don't like it at all. But it doesn't stop there. It gets worse because Man United came 8th, didn't they? United fans, you must be like, I don't know, you must be just so tired. Obviously, this video is going to come out before the FA Cup final. I don't give you much hope, unfortunately. But in a one-off game, anything can happen. But I set my sights on Man United a lot higher this year. I actually had them down as 3rd. 3rd? Wow. That's a really bad prediction, Smiv. That's 5 points added. I don't really know what brand of football Man United are playing these days. And that's mad for me to say that because all I ever did was watch them win everything growing up. Where are we now? 7th place. Newcastle. I actually had them down in 8th, which a few people said was wrong considering they got Champions League football the year before, but that was my reason for it. I've just thought that was going to be a little bit stretched. It was documented widely that injuries were pretty bad for Newcastle United. So, yeah, I think they should be happy with where they came. I feel like they overachieved last season, so where they came now is probably about where I would expect them. Can they build on this for next season? You would assume Man United will strengthen. Chelsea we're going to get onto in a minute. The teams above are going to try and maintain and get better at what they've done. So it's going to be tough for Newcastle, I'll be honest. They need to make sure they keep the players that have been making them tick this season. Isak. All right, in 6th, Chelsea. Came out of nowhere, didn't they? Very much like Crystal Palace. Fantastic end to the season. You do have to wonder where they would be without Cole Palmer. I do wonder if Pep's scratching his head and thinking, oh, we've probably done a wrong in there. It's probably not, actually, because they've just won a 4th season in a row. But yeah, Cole Palmer, sensational. Needs to be on the plane to Germany. Does he start for England? I think he has a shout. If he takes this season's form for Chelsea into England, then yeah, he's got to be in there. But yeah, I thought this was the season Chelsea were really going to push on. Maybe it is next season now. But I had him down in 4th. 2 spaces away, that's 2 points. Not bad at all. Into 5th, Spurs, my team. I think everyone doubted them. Most people didn't even give them a top 10 finish. And I'd just like to say, I told you so. I wasn't quite right. I put them in 6th. They've actually done better than I expected. It's just been a really horrible end to the season. It could have been so much better, but yeah, it feels like we just gave up. I actually enjoy the football that we're playing at the moment. It is a little bit suicidal at times. Even though we've got 2 of the best centre-backs in the league, the defence is just shocking. I think it's just the system. Players need to get used to it, and maybe some of the players aren't right for that team. We need to let them go. We need to get players that do buy into it more. And like I say, 6th place, 1 better off in 5th. That's 1 point for me. So yeah, I'll take that. Especially when others will probably be picking up 4 or 5 points there. So yeah, happy. Into 4th, we have Aston Villa. A fantastic season from them. Their fans must be absolutely buzzing. They are bringing back the top tier of European football to Villa Park. It's Champions League football. Obviously, winners of this competition in the older format. But yeah, Unai Emery has worked wonders with this team. Obviously, he got them from, I think it was like 17th last season. Got them right up there. And this season he's had a fresh slate, and boy has he taken it. 4th place. I had him down in 7th, as I say. 3 places. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do over the summer. And yeah, they're the ones at the moment that are upsetting the apple cart, breaking up the big 6, which I'm going to do a video on soon. I need to talk about what is the big 6, because it's not what you think. Villa got the history and the foundations to be a massive club. And all I can say is, like, the stage is yours. Go do it. Okay, moving on to 3rd, we've got Liverpool. And it was a bit of a 3-horse race at one point, wasn't it, for the league title? But then they fell away. Klopp's last season, it wasn't to be. They did win a trophy, though, so can't be. Let's not be greedy, guys. I actually had them down for 5th, so they've done better than I expected. So that's 2 points for me. But it really does feel like the end of an era at Liverpool at the moment. So they'll get a new manager in. There'll be a new project to back. These things can take time. So, yeah, it's just a shame in, well, Liverpool's case and Arsenal's case that City are just City, and they've not been able to get more out of some of the best sides they've ever had in the Premier League. For me, this season, this Liverpool side felt just a bit tired and kind of gave up. I remember when Klopp announced that he was going to be leaving, I thought that would actually galvanise the club, everyone around it, the staff, the fans, the players, the manager, and everyone would just get on board of this last bit and just go whole hog and win everything. But you know, it's football and it doesn't work like that all the time. In fairy tales, maybe. And at times there are crossovers between fairy tales and football. And when they happen, it's beautiful. For this season, though, it wasn't to be. Yeah, 2 points. I'll take that. And finally, we've got 2nd and 1st. Well, 1st and 2nd. Whatever way you want to put it. And I got it spot on, didn't I? It was between City and Arsenal in the end, and I just couldn't overlook City. They did the business. What about the 115 charges, Smiv? What about them? I don't know. I'm not that technical in the financial department, and I don't understand it all, if I'm being honest. However, what I do know is at some point, something's going to happen. I don't know when. Can't see them being stripped of any titles. They'll probably get one big fine. And they've been going for so long like this that whatever fine comes their way, I think they'll just easily pay it. They've got themselves into this position now, and it's going to be very hard to take them away. The only thing that is going to change it is if Pep's had enough. You know, he goes. Squads and players work in cycles, and, you know, as one comes out, it's all about having the right people behind the club to spot the ones that are coming through. Can you spot the next wonder kid? You know, Man United did it, just constantly cycled through different eras and constantly kept winning. Man City are going to try and do the same now. But as I just said, it's very tough for anyone else to get any slice of the pie, including Arsenal this season, who, you know, to be fair, have done absolutely amazing. Hate to say it, but this calendar year have absolutely smashed it. I listen to the radio a lot, and a lot of Arsenal fans say, we'll always look back on this season and wonder where it went wrong. I can tell you where it went wrong, and it went wrong in December. Here we go, I got it here. In December, Arsenal had 5 Premier League games, and they won one of them, and that was against Brighton. What were the other results? I'll tell you what the other results were. They lost to Villa. In fact, Villa did the double over them, didn't they? They lost to Villa. They drew against Liverpool, which isn't a bad result, I guess. But then they go and lose to West Ham and Fulham. That, my friends, is where Arsenal lost the league. And it was just one result, wasn't it? They were so bloody close. So bloody close. I almost feel... No, I don't feel for them. But that is mad. And next season is going to be even madder, I'm sure. So yeah, 2 spot on. It's a shame I couldn't get another one spot on somewhere. But we had a few 1s. We had a few 2s. We had a 7, a 6 and a 5. I think this has been better than last season. I think last season was hard to call. There were some odd things going about. But give me 1 second. I just need to add this up. 2 plus 3 is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I've checked it a few times now. 52 points, which obviously smashes my score of 80 last time, so great. Be interested to know how I've done against other people in this scene. But yeah, obviously let me know in the comments below how you did, and let me know what you think is going to happen next season as well. Get your early predictions in the comments below, and we'll go again at the start of this season. But until then, we've got the Euros to look forward to. Is it coming home? I think it might be.